This is the Education Business Podcast for consultants and business owners providing services in schools. I'm Claire Riley, and I'll be sharing how to start, grow and scale your education business. So today we're talking about selling to teachers in August. I know, it might feel quite icky to talk about selling to teachers, particularly in the summer as well when they've got time off. And especially if we've been teachers ourselves, or maybe you're currently a teacher now, then we might believe that teachers shouldn't have to spend their own money on our products and services. And I get that. I really get that. I've been there. And I still agree in some senses. But we are in the situation that we're in with the governments and education and spending. And so at the end of the day, we have to remember that we're providing something to help teachers. You know, we want them to get something that they want out of life, whether that might be more time, better results for their children, to become healthier. They get something that they want in exchange for money. And if we don't accept that we do have to sell to teachers and become okay with that, then quite honestly, we don't really have a business. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. And it's my job to say the harsh things that maybe you're thinking as a teacher that you need to hear. So it could be that there's a little mindset piece there to work on alongside the other areas that I'm going to bring to you to focus on today. So, when thinking about specific times to sell, like August, I always like to observe the calendar of events. So, think about what's happening before the specific time you want to sell, what's happening during, and also what's happening after that specific time as well. And this isn't just in your business either, it could be in your life. So, have you got your kid's birthday coming up, for example? Are you going on a family holiday? After going through many periods of not thinking about this and not planning ahead and not thinking carefully, and then really struggling to fit everything in and do everything all at the same time, I really try and factor these things in now. And as well as your own personal life, it's also about thinking what is going on in the sector in general. So in the summer, for example, teachers, particularly in the UK, get a 5 to 8 week break from school. Now, just before schools start a new academic year, for education businesses, it's like Christmas in the retail sector. So if you miss it, then you've missed it for an entire year. It's not coming back again, and you're not going to be able to achieve the same results easily. So it is really, really, really important to put the right amount of effort into the right things in order to really get the most out of this time. And I can't stress that enough. So where should you focus your energy then if it's so important? Well, I want to talk about 4 areas you need to be working on now to make sure that you have fertile ground at the end of August. And I think it's important to say as well, like I'm talking about schools in England here. And so the end of August is just before the schools go back because they go back the first week of September. So if you have a different school system, when I say the end of August, I'm talking about the week before the kids go back. And right now we're roughly 4, maybe more weeks ahead. So you want to be thinking 4 weeks ahead, maybe a little bit more for this to be really useful. So, number 1, build relationships. So use this time, the 4 weeks before, maybe longer if you've got it, to build relationships with potential customers. Grow your audience so that you have people to sell to when it comes to selling. Show them how helpful you can really be. Let them get to know you and who you are. Work on becoming known across the education sector for what you specifically do. So think about where you're going to do this. You might do it on social media or through blogs, maybe partnerships, whatever it takes to get your name out there for the thing that you do. And don't give up on this either. Be relentless. Don't stop. Just keep going like it's what you do now, because it is what you do now. Number 2, speak their language. So there's a reason I mentioned looking at the calendar before and after a specific selling time. So we can actually use this to channel being our ideal customer. And it can really help us to have a sense of what they are feeling, what they are thinking, and what's going on in their lives right now to inform us of their thoughts and feelings. So, what could they be saying right now? What words are they going to be using? What are they going to be searching for on the internet? What are they going to be Googling? What are they worried about? You might even have different types of teacher that you're thinking about. So, a newly qualified teacher, in England, we call them ECTs. Or is it somebody who's been in teaching a long time? So, all of the answers that you come up with are going to be their problems. And your job as an entrepreneur is to solve their problems and then find a way to educate them on how you are solving their problems and bringing them a really easy solution. Number 3, time it right. So don't sell straight away, like the first week of August, for example. So don't sell 4 weeks beforehand. It's a slow burn where you're building up a relationship and they're getting to know you and you're getting to know them. And they've got to get to know you, like you, and trust you. And you've got to build up to the selling. Otherwise, it's just like the spam that you get in some Facebook groups. You know, when people just drop in and then they leave a spammy comment basically saying, buy my thing. And it has absolutely no context for the people in that group. And to be honest, it's a wonder that they're still doing it, because you just think, I can't imagine that anyone buys their thing. So why are they still telling people to buy my thing? Anyway, that's a little bit of a rant. But so from now on, spend the time telling people what it is that you do, educating them about what you do so that you can go for the sell in the end and they'll know about you and who you are. And, you know, obviously it is worth saying that if you don't want to sell to teachers in August and you're looking for September, then you are going to need to do a little bit of work towards the end of August just to prep. So if you want to take a break over the summer, which I do advise, then take that in the July. But it all depends on your school year, and you might break up in June and go back in August. So just adjust as necessary, really. And number 4, talk about it. So when the time comes to sell, you're going to need to tell them about it more than once. You can't just do one post or one email and go, oh, I've got this thing. You need to plan a campaign. Yes, I know it's their holiday, but that's why you've nurtured them until the end of August or until the week before. But if you're following the other steps that I've mentioned, then you're going to be speaking to them about what they need and when they need it. And so you'll know when to contact them, you'll know what to say to them. So don't be afraid to share with them exactly how you can help. Because if you don't share, somebody else will, and they'll go with them. So if you found this episode useful today, then I'd love it if you would just jump on the platform that you're listening to right now and leave me a lovely review. Pretty please. It just means that more people can listen to the show. It'll reach more people on the platform. And so that would be amazing. Thank you. Right. I'm off now to think about our own August campaign of Classroom Secrets, which we've been thinking about recently. And so I'm going to go do that. So I'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to the Education Business Podcast. To get more information to grow your business, sign up at educationbusinessclub.co.uk.